So these are common questions that the programs will ask you. I'm not going to go over all of these with you right now. You can figure out what really good answers to them because you know, why do you want to be a psychologist or a counselor? Okay. You can figure out, why did you choose their program? What have you heard from others? Okay. But think about each one of these. Think about why you're a fit. What is it about you? And the fit could be you have the experience that's similar to what they do. It could be you have experience that's not similar to them, but they provide something unique that you've always wanted to learn. That's fine. You can shape these things any way that you want. Make sure you've thought about every one of them ahead of time. Okay. And a lot of these people haven't ever thought about them. They'll think about why they want to go to that school. They thought about, what do they bring to the school? What qualifications that they brought to the school? They'll have thought about, the graduate program itself. They'll thought about what they want to do afterwards, what kind of job they want. Okay. But other ones they may not have thought about is like, tell us about a supervisor who you worked with before. What went well, what didn't? Think about that by the way, it may not be a psychologist that you work with or a counselor or a social worker. It may have actually been a supervisor in a work situation not related to it. They want to know, how do you take direction? Are you someone who is willing to listen? Are you someone who is willing to solve a problem? Are you thoughtful about solving your problem? So come up with a couple of those thoughtful times that you've been able to do things well. Okay. Talk about someone you didn't click with. Think about when things didn't go well. Come up with at least one example of when things didn't go well and what'd you do to solve it. And I would choose one that you either solved well or you didn't solve well, but looking back on it, you recognize what you didn't do well. That's always good. Most people don't think about a theoretical orientation. You don't think whether you're behavioral or cognitive behavioral. You're an undergrad. You've heard about these things, but you may not know. Okay. But think about ones that have intrigued you. You may not have one. Say, well, this has intrigued me. This is the one. In school, we learned a lot about cognitive behavioral. And that seemed logical to me, how you take your thoughts and thoughts will change behavior. But there are some really interesting things that I learned about psychodynamic and, the concept of loss. See, you're not talking about what your theoretical orientation is. You're talking about the things that you've learned and what you want to learn from there. Okay. So keep those in mind. If you can answer pretty much all of these, there's going to be other questions that they'll ask. I can't come up with all the questions that are possible, but if you can answer all of these on this particular slide, you'll be in pretty good stead overall. The hardest one, maybe you're given a case to read and they'll ask you to conceptualize that. I would suggest going back and reading a case or two, going to a case manual or going to one of your textbooks, and they usually have case examples. Just read one, come up with some thinking about it. How would you process that? They're interested in your processing through, not that you have absolute answers to anything like that. Okay.